Hello and welcome to Michael's Minty Music for today. Today we review Billy Joel's second album, 1973's Piano Man. This was his first breakout album, and it remains one of his most famous for a good reason. It's really good. It's probably almost a perfect album, in my opinion. This is the track listing, and these are the tracks I added to my playlist, all of them but one. This album is overall just really great. It really doesn't let up. It flows amazingly from sort of quick, upbeat, sort of weird mishmashes of rock, country, and pop to slower songs which are in the same sort of style genre but are more sort of impactful, and they're track listed quite great. Basically, all the songs in the album are good, and they get better when you listen to them in the album format, because there's a slight shift in tone slightly for every song, but there's still a running sort of theme musically, so they aren't jarring. There were two singles off this album. The title track, Piano Man, was an A-side along with You're My Home as the B-side, and Piano Man was certainly popular on the radio at the time, along with, I believe, Traveling Prayer, Worst Comes to Worst, and Captain Jack. My favorite track here, though, is probably The Ballad of Billy the Kid. I think it's the best out of all the songs. Although pretty much any of them could be my favorite. They're all really good. And they've all held up super well. And they still sound really great all around. I rank this second out of all of Billy Joel's albums. It's certainly a deserving position. This album only loses out to Glass Houses because I think Glass Houses is a lot more polished, and personally I like the rock style of Glass Houses better than the sort of pop country rock mishmash early 70s of Piano Man. Additionally, though, this album does take my top spot from 1973. It beats out both ABBA and Queen's first albums, Ring Ring and Queen, respectively. Both of those albums are good, but they're certainly not as really great or polished or really amazing as Piano Man. Piano Man is just a really, really great album. Queen and Ring Ring are both good, but certainly not as good. Next up, we have Pink Floyd's probably their most famous album, 1973's Dark Side of the Moon. This was the album that made them go sort of really, really big. So it'll be interesting to see how it stacks up against Piano Man, which is also sort of a similar album, but for Billy Joel instead of Pink Floyd. So stay tuned for that, and as always, stay minty.